Hello and welcome to this episode of podcast by Cleancarbon.ai, which specializes and focuses on CBAM reporting and everything related to CBAM, which stands for Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism. I am Shubham Thakur, climate communications expert, CBAM expert, and climate journalist. And today I have with me iron and steel industry expert who has close to 17 to 20 years of experience, Mr. P. Vikranthji. He has been a key force behind Sentineel Steel in Ethiopia and has seen closely changes in Indian and global iron and steel sector. He will talk to us in this episode about how CBAM is impacting steel manufacturing, business and operation, not just in India, but across the globe. Thank you so much, Vikranthji. It's always a pleasure talking to you. I remember last time also we spoke on the same issue, and the conversation had thrown many lights on multiple related issues. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thanks Shubham. Thanks for you inviting me once again. And even it's a very good platform to understand what exactly the current market trends are going on, and or you can say how the competitors and all others are going on. So thanks for inviting us. And
thank you.
Yes.
So
yes,
my
please.
first question is, you have been working with Sentineel Steel, and in your experience, how do you see decarbonization shaping the future of iron and steel sector production and the entire business model itself? Why I'm asking this question is, if you have yourself, you must have observed and noticed that in the past few years, due to multiple sustainability related compliances and sustainability reporting, the steel sector has been under tremendous pressure. How do you think this sector is evolving, or decarbonization itself is shaping this industry?
Okay, Mr. Shubham. Shubham, I want to take a bit lengthy answer for this one because first of all, I want to share how exactly decarbonization affects the steel industry. The first major point is the energy what we are using in steel industry. The major, you can say the chunk of carbon has been utilized for the energy production. So if you see in Ethiopia, we are quite, what we can say in this word, we are quite lucky because our Ethiopia is totally on hydro. You can say 98% is on hydro and 2% on wind. So I can say, we can say the major, the decarbon doesn't affect on the energy. So the second cycle is coming back what we are producing and what carbon we are making, or what carbon output we are making through our production. Again, I can say we are more lucky because our raw material is majorly is on the scrap. Again, scrap is a renewable type of raw material. And in this also what we are, and there is very less carbon emission if you compare with the other, primary steel products. So in this, what we have saw before, the people are blindly putting the scrap in the furnace, where mainly with the scrap, you get oil, you get a different kind of, the material, which was initially more kind of, we can say the smoke, which is a mix of all different kind of, the chemicals. But as of now, the people are being, more segregated. And even you can say they have implemented the different kind of, the systems. I can't say digital system, but yes, the normal system, just to take the scrap, segregate it, clean it, and put it into the furnace. With that one, I can say at least 5 to 10% of our carbon has been reduced. And coming back to after making during the induction furnace process also, most of the industries has their primary FES, which is called fume exhaust system. And the people are also putting up the secondary FES system. Whatever the smoke which has been not captured by the primary, it will capture by the secondary. So overall, if you all put together, I can say at least in Ethiopia, we are quite confident we are producing our products, or we are producing our pellets typically with very less emission of carbon. Coming back, this is the first segment, and second segment is the emission of carbons also happen through the burning of the fuel, especially the HFO, where we use in the retail furnace. As you can see, most of the companies, they are directly doing the hot charging, where from the CCM it directly goes to the rolling mill, and we are also doing the same process. Again, I can say, if you compare to the last decade, no, at least 60 to 70% of the fuel utilization has been decreased because the people are doing the direct hot charging. The energy consumed has been quite completely less, and yes, the fuel consumption also has came down. So this kind of transformation I have saw in my experience in entire Africa. Okay, there are the few regions who are making the through the the core method, or you can say it as the virgin material to the primary and secondary. But most of the African countries are into the secondary, where we can easily, with the basic kind of concept, we can reduce the carbon emission.
Okay. Vikranthji, how do you define green steel? What is the proper and practical definition of green steel?
Okay, again, it links to my first answer. The green steel is first, as I said, the energy what you are getting. What is the source of the energy?
Mm-hmm.
It's a hydro, it's a thermal, or it's an you can say wind or anything. The first basic thing, we need to come from the energy which you are using, from where it is coming, and that plays a very major role of the green. The coming back, and the second thing is what the production efficiency or operations you're doing while you're making a steel. Yes, I can say that there can't be a zero emission of carbons. Always there is an emission of carbons, but we should have the monitor kind of mechanism, the visual kind of mechanism, reporting kind of mechanism. We can get all kind of data, and this can be reduced. So if you combine both, and which at least the accuracy of 80 to 90% which you're producing, that you can name it as a, in the general making as green steel. Again, as I said, if you drill down, okay, what kind of energy? The people now, the new technology come, the hydro generated fuel, or different kinds of fuel, or biomass fuel few people are using. So this kind of methodology with the collaboration of energy, from where you're getting, and energy what you are using, its complete picture comes to the green energy.
Okay, so it also depends on the use of energy for the production of steel, right? The final output, that also depends on whether it is a green steel or not. Now coming to one elephant in the room, which is CBAM, Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism. Yeah. It's a European policy, and it's going to enter definitive regime, as you know, from January 26. That's when the carbon tax will be imposed on the amount of emissions that is associated with during the production of a steel. Do you think CBAM is having any direct impact on steel production or businesses in Ethiopia or in African region itself?
Yes, it's definitely. It's not about Africa, it's about entire continent.
Mm-hmm.
CBAM has a major role. Okay, it has a positive as a negative pros and cons for the both. If we come back to the positive side, what is my suggestion? We can't have a one single the page policy to all industries.
Mm-hmm.
If you see, each and every country, each and every region, and each and every industry has a different kind of operation mechanism.
Yeah.
So the CBAM should be designed at least according to the regions. Okay, as I said, if it's in Ethiopia, as I already said, we are producing the clean energy. We are doing those kind of following the norms. The CBAM will be different. But if you go to the Nigeria, you can say 98% of they use the HFO, where the manufacturer doesn't have a control what the power they are getting. They already it has been morely decarbonized. So those kind of strategies to be well designed, and it should also give the drafts to all the manufacturers. we also put up into the dialogue, and we can design. Yes, always the protecting the nature should be the first priority of the human being. Let it be the steel, let it be the metal, let it be the cement, or any kind of industry. So we should be on that. Yes, CBAM is really working good, but only my thing is collectively people work together, and we should hit a right point rather than implementing the extra cost. Generally what happens for the manufacturers, if you bring those taxes and everything, just they will look for before it has happened, like the carbon credits. I'm sitting here, for example, the people sitting somewhere in world, that they are massively making the carbon emission. But other way at the other country, they are buying the carbon credits and they're topping up. But it is not solving any of the purpose. The only the thing, okay, the tax, how to take it out, or how to use the main mechanism. But as I said, we should bring it to the root level. And as I said, we should check according to each and every region how exactly it works, and accordingly, if we redesign the structure, definitely it will completely reduce the carbon emission to the all heavy industries.
So, in its current shape and form, CBAM, how much do you think it can impact business operations, or maybe the export trade that Africa has with European Union? In terms of revenue,
I can say, these, as I said, it will affect on the operation kind of level, what kind of taxes they bring up. Roughly, my estimation is I can give 7 to 8%. The cost of the product will increase on these taxes, and again, this everyone in the steel, everyone knows the volumes are made, the margins are less. Yeah? If we have this kind of taxation on the manufacturer, it can lead to the shrink of the business. So that's the reason we should tackle very blindly, rather than we are directly making the taxes on them, which are really not useful for the people, and it may also backfire the organization.
So are you telling me that it 7 to 8% could also be a result on the pricing of the product? It could also increase the pricing of the product at the end of the day.
Yes. I mean, include the manufacturing cost, you can say.
Manufacturing cost. I mean, obviously that will increase the pricing of the product and service also, right?
Agreed. Yes.
And this could also, what kind of businesses do you think it could almost kill? The big players or the small players?
Mainly the small players. The big players, they have the capex kind of mechanism they can manage. So mainly the players like the medium and small, they would affecting much. And even if you see the people with the bigger investments, they have a lot of mechanism and they're ready to do those things. But the small players, they not have been planned, right? So it will have a major effect on those industries.
So in your experience, what do you think have been or are the biggest challenges when it comes to CBAM reporting, successful and accurate CBAM reporting, to reduce the tax amount also going ahead from 26? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Sorry, Shubham, can you just repeat once again, because the audio was a bit weak.
Hello, am I audible now? Am I audible?
Yeah. Mr. Shubham, can you hear me? Yes.
Yes,
now, you are now.
Yes, it just got closed. I'll repeat once again. So I was saying, in your experience, what do you think have been the biggest challenges when it comes to successful, accurate and timely CBAM reporting in order for taxes to be reduced for smaller or big companies from African region? The biggest challenges.
Okay. As I said, the main thing is to repeat myself. Every region has a different kind of mechanism. We can't bring the European kind of taxation and put it in Africa, which is quite impossible. So if that structure reframes, obviously, and I'm quite sure it will completely accepted by the other the stakeholders, and it will can be easily implemented.
So you are
And
saying
again,
that
yeah.
you are saying that the current CBAM policy is not practically in line with the current production methods in Africa, right?
Agreed. Yes. Yes. As I said, it should be redesigned according to the each region.
Okay.
So what we are, and second, if you look at for the basic thing, if you look at the infrastructure and the thing, what European have, we don't have those infrastructure. We can't put it. And okay, for as a layman, if you bring a Tesla to the Africa and you make it autopilot, it is not going to be successful, right?
Yeah.
The same mechanism I would just want to correlate. So okay, according to our own, the mechanism of the operation, the mechanism of the resources, what we have, according if you redesign, 100% it is going to be a success.
And so you mean, so that brings a point related to data collection. So there's lack of infrastructure and systems in place which can ensure accurate data collection about carbon emissions, right? Or the details that have been asked under the CBAM.
Agreed.
Okay.
Yes. As you said, we don't have that much infrastructure to analyze the accuracy of what CBAM is asking us. Yes, we do have the basic things, the small uncalibrated or small kind of mechanism just to just to overcome or just to compliance the what you can say the regional level government bodies that we can do. But if you ask the level of the data or level of the reporting which has been requested by CBAM by the African industries, it is quite possible as of now. But once in a time span, yes, depending upon the experience, depending upon the the time, the people will try to catch up the line.
So, do you think European Union Commission should also ensure that first, as you are saying, CBAM should be designed in a region-specific manner. Second, you should first ensure capacity building efforts and data collection methods for different regions and different companies, because the production methods and the infrastructures are different. Somewhere it's adequate, somewhere it's not inadequate, right? And only then CBAM can be completely complied by different players.
Okay. Agreed. In this also, my suggestion is, rather than going, if you make it and CBAM, there are a lot of carbon emission. I've gone to roughly, if you see how many employees are using the vehicles and how much employees are using the flight, those all data has been added. But for Africa, it's quite impossible to collect all those data. What we can do to start with the European Union or CBAM with the Africa, just start with the energy, where you're getting and how you're doing. These are the major way you have the emission of carbon. If you're going to correct those things at the span of 2 years to 5 years, it's a very good thing. Then after that, then we'll start working on the way of the transportation and the way of the using other the parameters. It will be easy for them.
Now, it's not just carbon body adjustment mechanism that's in force. Now we have multiple other policies here in India also, like green steel taxonomy or increasing amount of tariffs on the iron and steel. If you see this global picture, right?
Yeah.
Now sustainability pressures and then tariffs on the steel production and the steel business itself. Do you not think it's a bit too much on the entire iron and steel business itself?
Yes, it is. As I said, few things on before, we should not only focus on iron and steel.
Yeah.
The data should be, have the in-depth analysis. As I said, in India, most of the times we have an integrated steel plant where the people are producing the power and they're using the same power. We need to divide those things and we need to check where exactly the high volume of emission is there, and it can be corrected with the different kind of methodology. And in this also, if you see, as I said, even in the steel also, we need to divide those things. Steel and iron is a big, it's a broad way of the world. In iron and steel also, if you divide, primary making, what is the cost? secondary, what is the cost, and okay, again the downstream products, what we have, or on this kind of scenario, if you see, then we can get each and every breakdown. So accordingly, where we can see our norms are quite high compared to the standards, then it can be reduced quite easily.
Okay. Now, do you think we need more partnerships, more incentives from the government side, besides the infrastructure that you have talked about, to ensure faster and accurate green transition of iron and steel sector, not just in Ethiopia or India, but globally?
Agreed. In fact, this was my even suggestion. I wanted to put it at the last question, but anyway, I want to reply to yes. The government should definitely help the manufacturers, but not in the starting stage. At least they should give some kind of, we can say the targets. Okay, in a broader way, if you are making it 100 level of carbonization, if you bring down to 80, this incentive will happen. If you bring down to 60, this incentive. So that will be, more over the target orientated, and it can be managed well. If you just have one slab, the people again, start working on the different kind of mechanism to, overcome those issues. But with this kind of targets, with a clear strategy, definitely the manufacturer will have a good help on this one.
No, but beyond incentives, what do you think could be one of the biggest relief in terms of policy or financial support that would be biggest relief to iron and steel producers, besides incentives and targets that you have mentioned?
It's incentives rather than government giving to them. What we can have, the lack of profit tax we have, the business tax we have, right? Depend upon how your plant is managing on the decarbonization. Accordingly, the business tax can be reduced.
Okay. So
apart from sorry.
Please continue.
So, apart from that, the government should also have an institute who should train the manufacturers and to bring up with the different kind of trainings, different kind of presentation or different kind of methodologies to train the people. Okay, this kind of technology will help us, and those kind of things. First, they train them and teach them, and after that, putting upon these incentives, it is going to definitely have a positive impact.
So on that note, I want to understand from you, and you have been seeing changes in the industry. Do you think we still do not have the required workforce, the required skill set for green transition?
Yes, I agree with you. Most of the green transition we have only on the papers. What I can see, okay, or on the patents or something. Nothing has been authenticated or been implemented on the ground. And again, why I'm saying quite clear on this, whatever we do, we do on the sample basis. If you put if anyone any industries, they monitor once in a while or once. If you have a real-time monitor, or if you have a real-time, the methodologies which you are working with a large sum of data, then we can be quite confident that yes, it is implemented. But as of now, my way of thinking, it's all on the papers. Nothing has been implemented practically with the manufacturers.
Okay, so we need proper institutes, proper skill set, the workforce, the manpower, and a system wherein there is a check and balance kind of method. Right? There is somebody to check and cross-verify the same data submitted by anyone across the world, so as to maintain at least minimum level of standard. My last question, please continue.
Even I suggest, in my experience, I saw a lot of companies across the world. Generally, in the green and environment, they club up with the safety. So, it should not be that kind of thing. If you are really looking at the bigger picture, you should have an entire different infrastructure only for the decarbonization, or let it be anything. It can be the water waste management. It can be the soil erosion. Let it be anything to protect that. We should have every factory should have an individual department who can focus on only those things. But you're clubbing with the safety, you're clubbing with the other things. It is not going to give that much of the interest or that much of concentrate on the environment impact for all the manufacturers. Agreed. Or all the industries, you can say.
Agreed. Now, beyond regulations, do you see a rising number of customers or buyers' pressure that are driving change toward low carbon steel? What I mean is, do you think customers have started to prefer greener products in European market or any market across the world? Do you think that is also sort of driving in sustainability reporting? How do you predict, if I could ask you?
Okay, Shubham, only the green kind of the mechanism is working only in the European with the steel. But if you see in Asian, if you see in at least between Africa, few higher end products, like mainly you can say airlines. Yes, even for myself also, if I want to fly anything, I try to see which one is a less carbon emission. I want to travel on that one. Okay, few here and there, it's not much a difference in the money. The money difference, the people prefer, at least in India or in Asian countries. But that kind of the environment has not been come on the steel industries. Okay, if you come with that content, if you see generally in India or in other Africa region, we have this organic food thing. Yes, there is an impact on that one using of the less fertilizers or less thing, but not on the steel industry. The one of the thing was there's a less awareness on this.
So it's still, so the customers are not preferring, not much of a pressure for greener steel. Is that what you're saying?
No. Yes. As of now, I don't see much on that.
It's only the policies depending on the market.
Yes.
So, okay.
Yes.
So which means European market, which is more climate conscious, is more worried about the sustainability efforts.
Agreed.
But do you see this change in near future?
Yes, it will be. It will be definitely. Again, if you say every for every issue there's an also you can say every problem there's a solution. For this also, what we can do, the government can start pressurizing all the major contractors. If you buy the green steel, they're going to again give some kind of incentive, not incentive like reducing on that one. It's a cycle chain, right? If they do to the end user will have to the trader to the manufacturer. So that kind of, it's definitely going to help.
Yeah, so incentivizing sustainability efforts is going to play critical role in decarbonization of entire sector itself. Thank you so much, Vikranthji. It's been really insightful conversation, and I have frankly learned from this conversation and understood the mood of the industry through you. We look forward to having more of such conversation, more of such webinars in the near future. Thank you so much for sparing the time.
Thank you, Mr. Thanks a lot.